Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Kirby's Adventure. We are now taking on level 4, the Grape Garden. Alright, so as you can see we have another beautiful new hub world to explore. But we're going to go ahead and take on the first stage. We have several more hidden switches spread out throughout this level. So let's get started. Alright, so as you can see we're now up in the clouds starting off, because Kirby just happens to have his head in the clouds this time. JK. That was a horrible joke. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and move on. So this is also probably one of my favorite levels. I think level 3, the butter building, is probably my all-time favorite. There's another one coming up that I like as well. And it may just be my bias based off of the music. But we're going to go ahead and get started looking for the hidden switches throughout level 4. So this level, again, there's really not much I haven't already said in terms of level design for all the levels. So that's why it's kind of hard to pick one. But this one's going to deal a lot with up in the clouds and kind of like up in the sky type areas like this one. As you can see, we have a lot of stars, and this is actually the UFO enemy that you can actually get the UFO ability from. So as the UFO ability, this is also one of my favorites I forgot about. Yeah, as you can see, Kirby just transforms entirely into a UFO. You can shoot space lasers, kind of works the same way as just like the regular laser ability, or you can use a beam as well. That's, again, very similar to the just regular beam ability. Not too much else to say about that, other than you can freely glide around in the air and in the sky, breaking all these star blocks. So we actually want to go over up here, or go up here, I should say, proper grammar. And there's actually a hidden passageway right there, and you'll find your first hidden switch of the level. And that'll unlock the Crane Fever game of level 4. And out we go, back into the sky. So yeah, this is probably another one of my favorite abilities Kirby can get. I forgot you can, it's just like, this one kind of feels a little OP, where it's like, you're not even like, you can literally fly over enemies, you can shoot them, because the beam, and as you can see, I kind of fudged that up a little bit. The beam has such a good attack range where it's like, you don't even really need to get close, where you're really ever needing to worry about losing your ability, even though I've done it twice already, and I spit it out, because I don't really need it. But we're going to go ahead and see if we can get another 1-up, but we did not there. But yeah, I kind of feel like it's overpowered. That's why I kind of didn't really keep it. I just wanted to kind of show it off in that level. It can't be overpowered, but it's useful, you know, regardless. Alright, so I actually wanted to see if I could get a couple extra lives from that crane game. But now we're going to go ahead and see if we can take on stage 2. So as you can see, we're now still up in the clouds, but we are at on a castle type building. So this is another one of my favorite designs. I love how the castles even look like the texture of the bricks. Like you can visually see like the individual bricks of the building. And again, this was a game that was released on the NES, early 90s, you know, so it's, you know, it's just so crazy that the graphics of even a game like this that's this old looks so detailed. Even like the colors and like the shine, like you can see even in this area, like just like the shine on those platforms, like it's just very beautiful and just pretty looking. And just a lot of thought went into the level design of this game, and that's again why it's one of my all-time favorite games. But we're gonna go ahead and swim underwater here. I don't think there's anything under there. The swimming in this game, I haven't really talked a lot about the swimming gameplay. I'm not like a huge fan of it. It's probably, if there's anything as far as there's a Maxim tomato in that door, I just wanted to say that. But as far as like any cons I have with this game, I would say maybe the swimming would be probably my least favorite part, just because it can be a little difficult if you have enemies attacking you, which you'll kind of see later on. There's a I don't really want to spoil anything, but there's a hidden switch that requires you to kind of hold an ability for a while, and you have to kind of swim through one of the stages to get to it, and there's several enemies that kind of attack you. And the one downside of swimming in the game is you cannot use any abilities that you hold. Kirby just like spits water out. Even if you have an ability like this one, if I was underwater, I would not be able to spark the enemies. I would just have to spit out water. But now we're going to go ahead and get to our next mini boss, which is 2 Poppy Bros. So these are the, this is the same mini boss that we found or encountered in the first level, I believe. But these guys, once again, they'll throw bombs at you, except you're just dealing with 2 of them. If you stay in the middle of the screen, you shouldn't have any problem taking damage. Their bombs you don't really take much damage from them. As you can see, we already took one out. And we'll go ahead and take this guy out. But yeah, these are Poppy Bro. Well, Poppy Bro Senior is the mini boss's official name, but we have 2 of them. So we'll call them the Poppy Bro twins. And yeah, again, not much to these fights. This is probably, again, one of the easier ones, apart from Mr. Frosty. Because they're very easy to avoid and take down. But let's go ahead and end the stage. Alright, so we went ahead and unlocked stage 3. So let's continue on in our wonderful adventure. And I love that castle that sits behind stage 2. As you can see, there's it's like a blimp looking thing sitting behind stage 3. But this stage has a fuse. So this is one of the first fuses you'll find in the game. But basically what you want to do is grab either the fire or fireball ability. And I think the laser works as well. And get into this cannon before it fires, and it'll shoot you up to a hidden area. So as you can see, we got another 1-up from that, so that's kind of nice. You'll see a lot more of these things, and not to spoil anything, but there may or may not be a few hidden switches that are required to use, or that we are going to be required to get by using those later on. So you'll kind of see what I'm talking about a little bit later. But this level, this stage is you're basically kind of like, this reminds me actually of a similar stage in Super Mario Bros. 3, where you're like up on like an airship. But these are like, I guess, blimps that are motorized, I think, or something like that. There's some kind of like airship or blimp. So this is where the next hidden switch is, in this secret passageway, and that'll unlock the museum of the level. And we go back out to the wind. No, I don't want to go in there. I want to go back out to the wind because I want to be blown away. Because I am able to fly, and that's just something I want to do, okay? Leave me alone. Alright, so anyways, enough of me being weird. I just want to go ahead and see. So as you can see, so this is actually, real quick, the parasol ability. I just lost it. That basically just allows you to fly on a parasol. You basically look like Princess Peach, but, you know, a round form, Kirby form. But yeah, there's really not much to this stage other than you are maybe going to have a hard time fighting against that wind. That can be kind of difficult if you're flying in that direction that I was against it. But for the most part, if you're moving in the right direction that it's blowing, you'll be able to kind of breeze through this level. See what I did there? But anyways, we have the cutter ability again, so I'll kind of show that off a little bit more since I haven't really shown that off a lot. And I do kind of want to show off as many abilities as I can, but I'm not going to go out of my way to show every single one of them off if it's not in our path. But now we have another Warp Star. As you can see, even the Warp Star is struggling to fight against that wind. Man, that's a strong wind. Alright, so now that takes us back up into the clouds, where we have the end of the stage. And I lost my ability. That's alright. We're somehow going to move on and go on with our lives. Alright, so we now unlocked stage 4, and as you see we unlocked that museum as well from the hidden switch. But we're going to go ahead and continue onwards. Alright, so as you can see, we are still, it looks like, up on some sort of airship type thing. We're going to go ahead and take the parasol ability back because we weren't able to really show that off a lot, and we're going to lose it again because I am just a trickster. I'm pretending like I'm showing something off when I just don't only carry it for 6 seconds. But no, so we're going to go ahead and take this ability that I lost again. That's okay. I'm not bitter or anything at this point, not at all. No, I'm just kidding. It's just part of the game. You grab abilities, you lose them. It's just something that Kirby does in most of his adventures, especially this one. But now you see we have these bubble things up at the top. I kind of like that part of that stage. But we now have an outside stage. So another reason why I like this game is because, again, look, we are now, other than butter building, which that one I like, the fact that you're scaling the same type of building the entire level. But we have some more variations of the level. So we went from going up in the sky into the clouds, and now we're back on land, it looks like. So again, just makes the game feel a lot larger in scale. The environments just feel so big, and everything just feels like you're traveling the earth as Kirby, the little pink puffball. It looks like there's a 1-up over there. I don't know if I have the right ability. I don't think the sword will work. I actually do not know how to get that, so we're not going to really worry about that. Leave it in the comments if you know. So I'm sure that's bothering people that I'm not going and getting some of those. But it's okay. But now we have another mini boss. So this is Rolling Turtle. This guy, just like his name, will roll at you and he will grab you and he will do a seismic toss attack, similar to the Bugsy boss, which again, that reminds me of Pokemon. So he will do that little attack, throw you around. The rolling is really what you want to be kind of cautious of because he can be pretty quick. And as you can see, he just killed us. So that's amazing. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and see if we can attempt that again. I'm going to take the beam ability and see if that gives me a little bit of an edge. Because I'm just feeling a little edgy today. And we're going to try it again. And I didn't mean to get grabbed, or didn't mean to him to grab me. Words are hard. Alright, so let's get our beam ability back and get seismic toss again. By this guy. But yeah, there's really, this is probably one of the more, I guess, difficult mini bosses. I'm making him look way harder than he is because that is just what I do. But if you just get not too close to him to where he can grab you like that and you're cautious of when he rolls and his speed that he rolls, he's really not that bad. I mean, I even went in with an ability and I'm still just completely bombing this thing. I mean, I'm just that terrible. I mean, come on. I'm just kidding. But yeah, he's really not that bad. You just want to spit those things at him. He'll eventually die. And then you can take his ability, which is the throw ability, which I have not shown. So the throw ability, we go through here. You can see you just want to swallow an enemy, but instead of devouring the enemy, Kirby will grab him very nicely, and he will chuck them at the wall, the platform, whatever you're running towards, which is kind of nice. We're going to go ahead and finish this stage off. But yeah, that throwing ability can come in handy. Again, it has a good range of attack, so if you aren't able to get the beam or the sword, I highly recommend keeping that ability if you fight those mini bosses. Alright, so I wanted to just check that museum to see if there's anything in there worth of interest. There wasn't, so we're just going to carry on. And this is stage 5. So as you can see, we are nearing the end of the level. Man, this game is just going, it's just coming and it's going. It's just crazy. But Meta Knight's going to hand us another invincible candy, so why the heck not take it, right? Alright. Just going to breeze on by here. This is probably... I actually recommend not flying with this thing because it kind of can slow you down. I actually had a stone enemy. I think that was the first time we've seen a stone enemy in this game. I'll show that ability off once I get that. And we're going to go ahead and go through here. As you can see, we are now navigating some more spiky ledges. And as you can see, it is starting to get more narrow. So I love the added challenge that they have in this game. I'm going to take a couple of unnecessary hits during this, but I just love how they have a little bit of challenge with the spikes. It's just, again, very rewarding, fulfilling the fact that you're able to navigate through, after you're able to navigate through a very narrow, spiky area, it just feels very rewarding and it feels good that you were able to do it. But now that we got that extra 1-up, we're going to go ahead and move all right along. And take this stone ability. As you can see, stone ability simply just turns Kirby into a stone. Very useful if you have maybe a lot of enemies or you want to just kill a lot of enemies really quick. Anyone that's right in your path underneath you will be crushed by the stone. But now we have our third Meta Knight mini bosses. So we have Axe Knight there on the left, we have Mace Knight on the right, and then we have, I believe that's Javelin Knight now. And I failed epically. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and try this again, and try not to fail epically this time, even though these fights are pretty epic. And as you see, we have two Trident Knights that are shooting us at the same time, and yeah, I believe that guy is Javelin Knight. Feel free to leave a comment, correct me if I'm wrong. But he's the one that's throwing the javelins at us in the center, and the Trident guys are throwing the pitchforks looking things at the top, and they're probably gonna kill us again because they're savages. And those things stun you for quite a while to where you're pretty much thrown off. And I don't know why I'm trying to swallow those, because you can't. See if I can get up here. Take this guy down, take him down, and now we're kind of getting a little bit of a rhythm back. Boom, and they are done. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move right along. And darn, I was gonna show the fireball ability off a little bit more. There we go. So we have the fireball ability again, and we epically failed once again. So let me see if I can show this off. So yeah, there's the fireball ability. I kind of already showed this off already, but I wanted to kind of show it off a little bit more. See if we can get some of these enemies destroyed before we lose it again. But we grabbed another one because, hey, they're well in supply, so. And then, yeah, you'll have a couple of those little mini Poppy Bros kind of rolling on balls. I never really mentioned that. Those little bouncy ball things they roll on. Sometimes they will actually be rolling on a Maximum Tomato, so you want to kind of keep an eye on that. But you can, I believe, destroy the Maximum Tomato if you, like, spit out the enemy at it or something. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I think that is possible. So you just want to look out if you're low on health for maybe one of those guys is rolling on one of those tomatoes. That would kind of be nice to have if you're low on health. But as you can see, we have more spikes and spiky enemies. We want to try to avoid these guys as much as we can. Again, I love this. This is one of my favorite challenging level designs where it's just like these guys are just like going up and down. You got to navigate through them. I don't know why. I just love that type of challenge. Because again, it brings a lot of diversity to the game where it's fun. It looks really good and it's still challenging at the same time. But we're going to go ahead and move on as we finish that stage. Alright, so we now have unlocked stage 6. This is the final stage of the level, so let's just get right into it, shall we? Looks like we're scaling another castle again. This one looks a little bit taller. Alright, so we have a lot of stuff to destroy in our path here. A little froggy enemy guy. I think that's the first time we've seen him. And we have more underwater gameplay. As you can see, we have more of these guys. So this is what I was kind of saying. Kirby just blows out some water. And that happens whether you have an ability or not. But we're going to go ahead and see if we can get these guys out of our way so we can progress on through this lovely water. And Kirby just, like, he just becomes, you know, you just don't want to be in his path. You know, now he's like, he's an aquatic creature of awesomeness, and you don't want to disturb him. You do not even want to look at him the wrong way. Kirby is a beast. But let's see if we can blow up these bomb blocks. And perfect, not get hit by that guy. Go back over here. I'm going to grab this energy drink because I'm a little bit low on health. And I really don't want to die again here, very embarrassingly. So we can get this guy and use his ability because this is a very useful one. Alright, so we now have another mini boss, and this is once again Mr. TikTok. So just wait for his music notes and we'll take him out as well. And yeah, these mini bosses, they can be kind of repetitive. It kind of feels like they kind of reuse a lot of them too many times, but most of them aren't hard to take out. I just want to show off this other ability, the mic ability. Actually kind of useful, but yeah, those guys are pretty easy to take out, and it's really not that big a deal. But yeah, the mic ability basically takes out several enemies that are on your screen at once. It's kind of nice where if you're kind of in a tight spot like I am, where you're only 2 hits away from death, Kirby can sing his guts out and he can destroy them. But now we're going to go ahead and take the light ability again, light this room up, because we have our next hidden switch located in this room, actually. So this is where the hidden switches are, you know, hence the name hidden. They actually hide them, especially later on in these levels, very well. So as you can see, there's a doorway there that opened up. Let's make sure there's nothing over there. So you want to go in here. This was not apparent before, but there's a hidden switch in here. And it opens a warp star. So yeah, so this is kind of, again, one of my favorite things about this game is the just the thought that went into this game as far as like just including the hidden switches, being that, or having that being part of a requirement to 100% the game. Hiding the switches in very clever ways where you have to literally like take that ability, light up the room, and go back, find that passageway. I mean, it sounds kind of like annoying, but it's just so like, this was when games like had a lot of challenge. And I just love that. Like, it's just a very clever way to add like a challenging part of the game where it's like, it just encourages you to go back and replay it if you never, you know, completed it 100% and you want to get all the hidden switches. It's just very fulfilling, and then when you do, it just has like a fulfilling feeling afterwards. And I love that. And maybe that's just me, but you know what, sometimes you just gotta be you gotta be yourself. So so this one, I think I have to hit these in a certain order, and I think I screwed this up because that's not gonna Yeah, so I think what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to hit those in a certain order to where that one up. I think you go to that bottom one first, that one up goes up there, and then you hit that top one and you can get it. But I'm not going to go out of my way to get it. We don't really need it. As many times as I've been dying, I might, but no, I really don't need it. See if I can grab this energy drink before we end this final stage and then deal with the boss. Alright, so that was stage 6. That was the we found the last hidden switch of the level, so we are now going to go ahead and take on the level 4 boss. So let's do it. Alright, so this is the next boss of the game. I highly recommend taking that enemy's high jump ability and jumping the heck out of here. So this guy is Grape. So Grape is pretty difficult if you don't have the high jump ability. So what's nice about this boss fight and is basically that if you have this high jump ability, this guy is cake. If you don't, it can be a challenge. So if you have the high jump ability, just continuously high jump him. If you just keep jumping through him and avoid his lightning attacks, you will easily take this guy out and avoid his spikes on his body. Again, you just basically want to avoid taking damage, getting hit, and just continuously jumping at him. This is another one of my favorite parts about this game is that you are basically given bosses where you get to decide if you want to take on a little bit of a challenge or if you want a nice little easy breezy time like I'm doing here. I love that they gave you that option, so if you want to take this guy on without this ability, feel free, but fair warning, he is pretty challenging. But we have now defeated him, so I will see you guys next time when we take on level 5.